the Lakers.
Yes, it was. Lakers strike first 116-98 over the Heat in Game 1. It was the usual suspects. Seventh game this postseason that LeBron James and Anthony Davis each scored 25 points and shot 50% from the floor. That's the most by any pair of teammates in a single postseason in NBA history. The last duo to do it at even 5 games was Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen in 1992. For more, let's welcome in Stephen A. Smith, who's going to be with us here in studio throughout the NBA Finals. So, Steve, it's hard not to overreact to a game like this, but how much trouble are the Miami Heat in right now?
Oh, they're in a world of trouble. They're on the verge of getting swept if they don't get their act together. The level of domination that you saw from the Los Angeles Lakers tonight should tell you a story. Miami goes on a 13-0 run, jumps out to a 23-10 lead, and then the next thing you know, they end up getting outscored like 55-25, and at one point they were outscored by 40 over the course of 2.5 quarters. That is an annihilation. That is a butt whipping. It almost looks like it was a nice run. We applaud you for your efforts, but it ends now. That's the kind of beatdown they got tonight. I'll give them an opportunity in Game 2 to make amends, but I can assure you that I speak for a lot of people in America when we say we're fearful that a sweep is imminent. We hope not, because we like competition, but we're fearful.
I mean, when you look at the teams on paper, the Lakers are the more talented team.
Yeah.
What else did you see that accounted for the domination in this?
Their bench scoring, their bench production, obviously Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Danny Green, Alex Caruso, all of these guys, they were hitting open shots. You got to give credit where credit is due. But the level of domination that Anthony Davis put on display, he dropped 34 and 9. He can score when he wants, whenever he wants. Bam Adebayo, Jay Crowder, it doesn't matter who you put on him. They don't have the horses to compete with Anthony Davis. He comes to play, there is no answer for him. We know that LeBron James is the best player in the world, but when you've got Anthony Davis as your proverbial sidekick per se, and Miami has no answer for that. What can you do? Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero had about 14 tonight. So Eric Spoelstra's got his work cut out for him because, again, this was a butt whipping.
A lot of issues for Miami. They got a lot to figure out before Game 2. We will see you after Game 2 right here on SportsCenter.
Yeah, you will. I hope that we're in better spirits and we have something far more interesting to talk about than was given to us to talk about tonight. But I fear that might not be the case. I'm just saying.
Stephen A. Smith with us on SportsCenter. Yeah, Miami's going to need.
It was not that close. LeBron James as the Lakers take Game 1.
They smacked us in the mouth, and we got a sense of that. And so we knew how hard we had to play if we wanted to try to make it a game. And, you know, from that moment when it was 23-10, we started to play to our capabilities. We started flying around. We started getting defensive stops in. We started sharing the ball a lot better offensively and just got into a really good groove.
Feels good to get the first game. You know, we're not satisfied. We don't like how we ended the game. That wasn't a championship mentality, and you know, we have to be better in that regard. But you know, we'll take the win, but we'll watch film and you know, try to get Game 2 as well.
We talk about how damn near perfect that we have to play, and that was nowhere near it. There's nothing to be said. We can watch all the film in the world. We understand, we know what we did not do. What we talked about we were going to do, we didn't do. We didn't rebound. We didn't make them miss any shots. We didn't get back. All of those things led to the deficit that we put ourselves in.
All right, you talk about Tim Legler. And, Tim, you look at the injuries, and you look at Game 1, and now you look at the series, and you see what?
Well, I see a team in Miami that already got hit with a gut punch tonight, and I see a team now that doesn't have the depth to withstand anybody out of the top of their rotation being out. And I'm worried about Goran Dragic because when it happened, playing the best basketball, I believe, of his entire career, if he has to miss the rest of this series.
All right, while we're on the subject of things you're familiar with, the Lakers are 11 for 17 shooting the three in the first half. Very Legler-like. They were 4 for 21 in the second half shooting the three. Un-Legler-like. Where are the Lakers when it comes to shooting the three?
Well, Eric Spoelstra better hope it's more like the second half. I can tell you that, Neil. But here's the thing. It's somewhere in the middle, and going into this series, you had to realize you're going to give up something to the Lakers, and it's going to be the three-point shot. Problem is, when they move the ball the way they did and they operate with smart cuts, and smart post play, they're going to get better looks and they're going to be a better shooting team. Here's an example. You throw it into AD in a post, double team comes, great cut by Rondo, draws that top defender. Now it's a matter of moving the ball. Iguodala closes out hard. Nice job by Kuzma to recognize it, puts it on the deck, and now you force another defender to come help, and it leaves KCP wide open in the corner. If he's going to take a shot with that kind of balance and time, he's going to be a better shooter. Another example, pick and roll, get the ball to the middle. Rondo forces the backline defender, in this case Dragic, to step up, and now you've got one guy on the weak side to play two. Great ball movement. You get it over to the corner. And again, Alex Caruso, not a great three-point shooter, but when he's got that much time and he's on balance, he's going to become a higher percentage shooter. Now, this one hurts because you do the right thing defensively. You get four guys back to wall up LeBron in transition. This is the primary focus defensively. On the kick out, if you're Solomon Hill, you're going to give Rondo this kind of room. You're going to say, go ahead. Can you make that shot? Rondo did. And again, feet set on balance all the time in the world. When they're taking looks like that, Neil, their percentages are better than they indicate in the regular season. That's what they did to him in the first half. You're not going to be able to take away everything, particularly with what LeBron and AD do to you in the paint. So the strategy against this team has to be force three-point shots. They did it in the first half, and the Lakers buried them and got all the separation they needed in the second quarter. Eric Spoelstra has to continue to roll those dice that is the shot that the Lakers are going to miss enough to give the Miami Heat a chance to win this series.
Game 2 Friday, Tim Legler. Nothing but net.
What if I told you that Stephen A. Smith is in the house? Not on Zoom, not on Skype, not in Bristol. He's in Los Angeles. He'll be with us on.
You guys went on, I think, a 75-30 run after falling down 13 early. What allows you guys to have success like that over a sustained period of time, a run like that?
Paying attention to detail. I don't think in the beginning that we were physical enough, and you have to get a feel for how hard Miami plays. And I think they smacked us in the mouth, and we got a sense of that, and so we knew how hard we had to play if we wanted to try to make it a game. And, from that moment when it was 23-10, we started to play to our capabilities. We started flying around. We started getting defensive stops in. We started sharing the ball a lot better offensively and just got into a really good groove.
All right, Kyle Goon.
For AD, thank you. For AD, obviously his first finals game, what did you see about his preparation? Was there any advice you gave him? And to see him perform like that, what do you feel about that?
I don't feel anything. I expected out of him. Didn't need to give him no advice. We've been preparing for this moment all season. He's been preparing for this moment all season. And I'm happy to be on the same floor with him in the same uniform. And he was, once again, a force every facet of the game, both offensively and defensively.
All right, Dan.
LeBron, you've felt the buzz of the NBA Finals 9 times in your career. What was it like today with nobody there, the sound? I mean, I know you're used to bubble basketball at this point, but on this stage, what did it feel like to play a finals game?
It felt great. It felt great. I've been preparing for this moment for quite a while. And fans, no fans, the inner challenge for myself and the way I prepared myself, it felt amazing to be playing in the finals once again.
Okay, Rachel Nichols.
LeBron, you've seen plenty of times over the years where if one team has a bunch of injuries, the other team kind of floats a little bit and doesn't come at them as hard. How do you make sure that you guys don't do that in game 2?
We got so much more work to do. The job is not done, and we're not satisfied with winning one game. It's that simple.
Already, Chris. Thanks.
Ron, there was a few times where you guys got up big, and then there was a lot of celebrating going on, and I seen you sometimes you had to rein them in a little bit. What do you, from your experience, what have you seen in the past that got you to the point where you felt like sometimes you just say like, okay, let's keep it on task?
The best teacher in life is experience, and I've experienced moments in my career, finals games, where you had all the momentum in the world and you felt like you had the game under control, and one play here or one play there could change the course of a series or change the course of a game. And one in particular that always rings home for me is Game 2 of the 2011 Finals in Miami versus Dallas. D. Wade hits a three right by that bench. I believe put us up either 13 or 17. And from that moment on, Dallas went on a hell of a run and finished it off with a Dirk Nowitzki left-hand layup to steal that game. To this day. So I always talk about the best teacher in life is experience, so I've experienced a lot. So that's what prompted me to be who I am today, is being able to have those experiences.
Okay, we'll send it back to Will.
Right, thank you. Yeah, we're going to take 3 more on my side. Tanya?
LeBron, I'm wondering, in a game like this, when you guys have the kind of lead that you had, are you already thinking, this is what we've done, this is what we could do better, here are some things that we're doing wrong? Were you already in that frame of mind during this game?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you can learn so much more from a win than you can in a loss. And I can't wait to get, for tomorrow for us to get back together and watch the film and see ways we can be better and see some of the breakdowns that we had, especially in that fourth quarter, especially in that first 6 minutes of the first quarter, where we could be so much better defensively and also so much better offensively. So I can't wait. I'm extremely amped up about watching the film with our ball club tomorrow. I'm gonna watch some tonight, obviously, by myself, but looking forward to getting together as a group tomorrow.
Hey, LeBron, Mike Trudell back in LA. Teams have spent your whole career trying to keep you out of the paint. Say the same thing this season about AD. What are some of the ways that you guys are still always seemingly able to get there, still able to get to the rim and still able to finish?
Because we have great spacing and great shooters. Without KCP, without Danny Green, without Kyle Kuzma, or Markieff Morris, and a list of guys that can spread the floor, it allows myself and AD to be able to do the things that we do in the interior. And we try to mix up our game too. We try to mix it in the interior and the exterior. But when you have guys that can space the floor like we have, it allows us to do some of the things that we do in the paint.